Chiefs, if you can get some sort of major compensation from somebody who's like running back horny. Yeah.
Chubba hasn't really moved since
Yeah.
Rico left. And for me, if I was going to buy one now, that would be the guy. Because, I mean, he was
All right. Welcome back to the desk, baby.
Welcome back. Post-free agency. The hype's getting real. Everybody's excited about fantasy again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I mean, let's be honest, we're entering like one of the best times in sports. You got March Madness starting up. Sorry about your Commodores in the SEC championship, by the way.
It's all right. We'll have a chance to get them back. We're in the same section of the bracket.
Yeah. So March Madness is underway. We've got, like you said, free agency kicking us off here. We've got draft quickly approaching. So this is great. Great time of year.
Great time to be into football. Let's touch on some of the guys that moved the most as a result of free agency today. There'll be some guys that were the free agent themselves, and then a few sort of knock-on effects. Somebody joined the team, somebody left the team, and maybe that moves them around a little bit. For my money, the biggest mover was Kenny Three Sticks. Signs with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah.
Yep.
Previous Super Bowl MVP. Give me your thoughts. What do you think of the landing spot?
I mean, I don't know a single player that's gone to the Chiefs and done worse. So the Chiefs offense promotes offensive firepower, promotes points being scored. I think that's a good thing. You know, my thoughts on Kenny Three Sticks is I don't know if the dude's ever made it through a season without some sort of injury. So I think personally, if I were a Kenny owner, this may be the time to move him. He's coming off a Super Bowl MVP. He's going to the Chiefs. If you can get some sort of major compensation from somebody who's like running back horny, I mean, I think it's a great landing spot for him. I think he's going to rack up points. If he manages to stay healthy.
Last year he was like 11, 12 points per game guy last year. I think that could come up. But if you could give me a 1-to-1 flip to James Cook or Jonathan Taylor or Trevion Henderson or Bucky Irving, I'd do it. Yeah. Nico, Chris Olave, George Pickens. I'd do all of those 1-to-1. Give me a small piece on top and go for CMC or Kyron or Barkley if you're a contender. That would be my move with him. If you feel differently, if you think now the touchdown regression's coming, he's going to get 10 or 12 TDs playing with Mahomes and be the 6th, 7th, 8th running back overall. Sure, you can hold him. I certainly wouldn't be buying him right now, though. I think the time for buying him is past. He's either a sell or a hold for me.
Fully agree.
Talk to me about Travis Etienne. That was sort of the other big free agency signing at running back.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think he's a good sign. He's a points guy. He's going to get your fair share every time. I mean, looking at what you can maybe move him for, I don't know if I'm loving any of the spots. I mean, if you need a quarterback, you could trade him for Baker potentially. I mean, Javonte Williams had a great year last year for the Cowboys. I don't necessarily see a lot of regression there. They have most of their team back. They have so much offensive firepower that I think Williams, if you could flip him maybe for Javonte Williams, that could be a good one too. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think your preference between him and Javonte, totally up in the air. If you could get a big plus to downgrade from Kenneth Walker to Travis Etienne and, you add like a full Jalen Waddle or something like that on top, I'm fine with that move. I think he's priced pretty fairly in my mind right now, even with the change baked in. Few of the guys that we were recommending that didn't quite get as hot of a landing spot as I was hoping for was mainly Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier, two of the guys that we said if you can get these guys at price, do it because their price
Yeah.
is going to go up. That didn't happen based on where they landed. Uh,
Yeah,
what do you think?
Arizona, I mean, as an Algier owner, Arizona's kind of tough. Like, there's already some competition. I mean, I think
Yep.
Algier, it's going to end up being more the bell cow, but still, competition. Didn't love seeing that. And then Dowdle, well, he ended up at Pittsburgh, was it?
Yep. I think they're
You
both
know,
going to be splitting backfields. I think we were hoping for
yeah,
a landing spot like Minnesota or the
yep,
Commanders as
hmm
a place for either one of those guys to sort of be more of a 1A in a better offense. And they're going to
yes,
end up, we think, splitting time in a mediocre offense. So
yeah,
I'm not really actively selling or buying them based on free agency. I think they're priced pretty fine. They'll be startable week to week and probably nothing special over the course of the season
yeah,
unless a guy goes down.
kind of like they have been.
Yep.
So,
There's a few running backs as well that got left behind and I think now have more opportunity than they would otherwise. Talk to me about Chuba, Tuten, and Zach
mhm.
Charbonnet.
Yeah, I mean, Chuba, pretty clear. He's still on the Panthers. He's now the dude there. Panthers have gotten better. They've made some signs. I think they signed a couple offensive linemen. Their receiving core is getting better, so I think Chuba is in a really nice spot. Charbonnet, once he comes back,
Yep.
he's going to be the guy in Seattle unless they sign somebody or draft somebody.
Yep.
But I think as of right now, Charbonnet is going to be the dude, so he's clearly happy. I know you mentioned Tootin, but somebody else I would like to mention is like a David Montgomery
Oh, true.
going to Houston. Houston's offensive line is in process, but
Yep.
David Montgomery going to Houston's great. And I think in that same note, my God, how did I just lose his name? Detroit's running back. God bless
Oh,
it.
Gibbs.
Gibbs? You're a Gibbs owner. You're happy as a
Yeah,
clam. I mean, his
absolutely.
his handcuff is now gone. So I think those guys are in hog heaven.
I think so too. I think Detroit and Seattle are both pretty prime locations to
Yeah.
draft a running back, but I doubt either one of them's getting like a Jeremiah Love. So I
hmm
think at best it's a 1B, in the offense, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them take somebody. Uh,
Yeah.
Chuba hasn't really moved since
Yeah.
Rico left. And for me, if I was going to buy one now, that would be the guy. Cause I mean, he was a seventh, eighth round startup pick
hmm
last offseason. And I don't think anything's changed about his situation except that Rico's gone and Carolina's offense looks better. So
Right.
I think he's still got a small buying window on Chuba. I'll be looking into that wherever I can. Um, Tootin might be a bit of a sell high depending on how much he climbs. I
hmm
really like him. I had him, I think, in 60 some percent of my dynasty leagues
Okay.
going into free agency. So I'm not a Tootin hater, but he didn't, he didn't do all that much to stand out for Jacksonville. And they signed a lot, or they paid a lot for Chris Rodriguez. I think it's going to be more of a split backfield
hmm
than people are letting on at the moment.
Agreed.
Let's talk
Agreed.
quickly about a couple of fallers and Cam Scatterbo and RJ Harvey. These guys have dropped a few rounds of startup value. Are you targeting either one of them, or are you just kind of staying away at the moment?
I mean, I love the way Cam Scatterby runs the ball. So if somebody were wanting to offload him and I didn't have to pay the world for him, I think the Giants as a whole have gotten better since
Yep,
last year. I know he's coming off an injury, but still, I mean, a, the Giants as a whole are a better team. They signed what likely, so they boosted their tight end ability. They've got a couple receivers. They've got young Jackson Dart. I think they're in the up and up. So if
yep.
somebody were trying to offload Scatterboo, sure, I would love to get him.
Would you
Um,
do either ETN or Javante straight up for Scatterbill, or would you keep
Depends
those
on
guys?
I think it depends possibly on my team. I would be. I think Javante's in a good situation. If I were like kind of in that competing role, I mean, I kind of like Javante, honestly. But if I'm in a situation where I'm on that borderline retool, why not get a little younger with a Scataboo on a blooming offense? That's
Yep.
my take on it.
And then for me, RJ Harvey, I think if he falls any further, he's going to start being a soft buy. I think we
Hmm.
always knew in Denver he wasn't going to be the alpha alpha. We even knew that last year when he was a rookie, and he is an
Hmm.
old, rookie or I guess sophomore now. But if he commands the receiving role in that offense and gets a little better as a runner
Yeah,
at this new price point of, RB20, RB22, something like that, you're looking at him or DeAndre Swift. I'll take the guy on a slightly more stable situation, not being replaced actively by a rookie. He's got a veteran he's going to displace. Right. So,
exactly.
yeah, that's sort of
And
my
he could
thoughts
find
there.
himself in a different situation and be
In a
the
couple of
alpha
years, yeah.
in a couple of
Yep.
years too. And he's young enough.
Yep.
Swift's no longer young enough. So
No, that's true.